Alright, well today I want to talk about basically what I'm running for this year's archery season for our whitetail here in Pennsylvania. And this year I went out and bought a new bow and the new Mathews V3X. This is the 33 model. And I went with the 33 because I happen to be more accurate personally with a longer riser. So the longer axle for me over the years has performed better than going with the shorter 29 or 30-inch bows. Okay. I also went this year with the Spot Hog Hogfather, and what I really like about this sight is this triple stack. And let's see, I'll turn it around better here. You can see these pins here, and what I like to do is set up the pins for my hunting setup, my 25, 35, and 45, and then I have the adjustability with my sight tape. Now when you go to sight in your sight tape, if you happen to get a Spot Hog or any adjustable sight pin, take the time to get as accurate as you can. Don't go out there one day and throw tape on there and start shooting. You're going to be close, but you won't be as close as you will if you take an extra couple days to really dial in the 60. This one was set up for 20 and 60. Cut your tape and slap it on. Error I made this year was by not cleaning off this surface. Make sure you're taking rubbing alcohol, wiping this clean before you put your tape on, or it's going to rip off. I also went with Shrewd stabilizers, and I like these little things because I can adjust them. They have weights that you can put on these. I got 2 in the front and I have 4 in the back, and if I want to, all I got to do is take this off and I can adjust these to whatever I want. I take a couple off, put a couple on, and there's a screw on. That's a 12-inch on the front, and I got a 7-inch in the back. Same deal, except I got the 4 here, and you can just undo this and screw off your weights. Went with the Shrewd Atlas V-bar, and these things are pretty sweet. Adjustability, you can get to where that bubble will stay exactly where you want to by taking the time to shoot several arrows. Other thing that I liked about how I got this setup is, is I got this quick disconnect. So when you're going hunting somewhere or you're traveling, this bow will not fit in a case. So when I got this really tightened on here. So all I got to do is pop this off, and I can put it in my case, put it back in, twist it on, and we're moving. So those things are pretty outstanding. New this year was the Hamskea Epsilon, and I actually have this set up so it's limb driven. So when I pull back the bow, the flex of these limbs will raise or lower my rest. Super neat, super neat. Now I have markings here on mine because I didn't realize that my string needed to tighten a little bit, and these are pretty easy to adjust. If you start catching your arrows off of your rest, simply grab this, hold tight, unscrew this little screw, pull it as tight as you can, and re-screw it in, and the rest will fall back down. It won't be floating. I also went with this Jack Gear Sling. Not 100% sure how it's going to work for me this year hunting, but as far as going to archery shoots and being hands-free most of the day, take this. I'm slinging it on and I'm walking. Very, very convenient, hands-free. If I need to sit there and look at a target, or you could sit there and turn a different way. Use this as a brace to get holds more stable with your binoculars. Super nice. Now, think, well, this thing could get caught in your strings. Well, on your wrist strap here is a magnet. I can do this here, and it snaps on, keeping clear of all your strings. Very convenient. This year, with these the stock strings that come with Mathews, they're junk. So I went ahead and ordered custom strings, and I went with America's Best Bow strings. I'm trying them out this year. So so far, I've enjoyed them. I don't know how many thousands of shots I have through this string, and I have just a slight twist in it right now. And they come pre-stretched, but if you don't get your strings on your bow, as soon as they come in, they can go back. But I custom ordered this. They're super fast. I think it was 3 days from the time you ordered to the time they arrived and completed. I think that might be it for. I think that's it for the bow. Now I'm running these kinetic piers, and I'm thinking about making a Frankenstein arrow and going to Victories next year, but due to availability and having a pain to try to find the parts I needed this year, I'm just sticking with these for one more year. And the reason I don't like these is this piece here. They're either made too tight or they're made too loose, and some of them, these will fall right off, and some of them, they're a bugger to get on. So, and this arrow, I don't know what it is, but I shoot a deer, if I hit any type of bone, this arrow just snaps. Goes through, hits anything, it snaps. Not the most durable arrow, but as far as having a true spine and flexing it, it will still go back to your the same spine it had, or very close to it. So you're not shooting the spine out of your arrows. I'm going to try these Tack Veins out. They're called tack drivers. They are 2 3/4 inches. Just doing a 3 fletch on them, and they seem to be shooting pretty well. The glue I used on these was the tack glue and the tack primer pen, which I mean, it's held these on, and I don't know how many arrows I shot yesterday with these, maybe a couple hundred, and no issues with them. I do like how they have, you won't be able to see, but inside this groove of your fletching, it's almost cupped, bowl-like. So when you fill it up your glue, there's little residue coming out of it. And you're not having a bunch of waste. I'm going to stick with the Spitfire mags for another year. I know they work. These are absolutely devastating to whitetail. And I really like these, that no rubber bands. They snap into place. No rattling. And I know when I shoot, they're going to open. The only issue with these is your entrance hole is the size of this broadhead. Very, very small. But the exit hole is going to be like the size of a snuff can. And the deer will bleed. I went to, I'm changing releases this year as well. I went to a Stan thumb release, and this little thing is sweet. And if you're a person switching from a index finger to a hand release. You can set this up as a 3-finger or a 4-finger release. You can adjust the pivot on how you like this till it fits your hand comfortably. And it's already comfortable. But you can adjust your barrel here where you want that to be. I think I spent 3 hours home from after buying this at the Great American Outdoor Show, adjusting it, and it fits me perfect. It's comfortable. Stand perfect, heavy metal. And the other thing I like about this, so if I'm going hunting, I don't have to have this in my hand. I literally can just hold it on, put it right on your loop, you know, draw it back, do your shot. The only thing you have to do is reload it, which is here, and it's reloaded. Hook her back on. Thing I don't like about this, because I'm so used to having a wrist style release, I'm going to lose this. So I took and hooked paracord through the hole back here, reload it, and I can hook this around my wrist and shoot. But that's my setup for this year. I'm going to throw a quiver on there. I haven't decided what I'm going to go with, but I might just go with the old quickie quiver and be done with it. It's just a quiver, and I haven't had any real issues with terrible noise from it, so that's probably what we're going to go with. But alright, if you guys like it, don't like it, if I missed something, you want something covered, leave, comment in the comments, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for something else. Come along.